inner child is to meet the essence of who you truly are from a place of unconditional love and profound inner wholeness. Create more space for the soul self to freely flow in the brain, in the body, and in the body mind. Since I can't remember my life anyway, and it was all filled with really gnarly, complex trauma for the majority of it, why don't we just start fresh? And if that childhood self had always known unconditional love through the fulfillment of these specific internal attachment needs, who would they have grown up to be? And now we get to rebirth our inner realities from and through and into that love. The true purpose of inner child work, play, healing, or liberation, whatever phrase resonates, the true purpose of working with the inner child for deep healing transformation is to meet the essence of who you really are. And who you would now be if your childhood self and every aspect of you between childhood and now had always known unconditional love. If your childhood self and every aspect of self between then and now had always been seen, loved, treasured, appreciated, celebrated, cherished, valued, wanted, with a sense of belonging, safe, secure, protected, provided for, sustained with stability, sustenance. If every aspect of you from childhood and in between then and now had always felt support, connection, vulnerability, closeness, collaboration, community, respect, recognition, embrace, allowance, opportunistic space, directional guidance, with a sense of purpose and importance, feeling tenderly held and abundantly taken care of, feeling free to play and create, use your imagination and have adventure and exploration. If your childhood self had always been free to express their authentic being so that you could know what it feels like to feel like yourself, to be your truest self, to be your fullest, most authentic expression of self. The whole purpose of inner child work, play, healing, liberation, the whole purpose of working with the inner child for healing is to meet the essence of who you really are. If your childhood self had always known the fulfillment of their inner needs from a place of unconditional love. If every aspect of you from childhood to now had always known unconditional love. And who would you be right here, right now? What would your sense of self feel like if your inner being was navigating from the love and the wholeness of who you really are?
These videos reference Kristin Windsor's original Trifecta Treasure Trove modalities, intellectual property of Kristin Windsor, all rights reserved.
My own personal journey with inner child healing has been extraordinarily unique. Just a quick glimpse into it and why I am so passionate about the work that I now share. 4, 5, and 6 years ago, my inner evolutionary hero or past version of myself was living with chronic dissociative age regression. Because of complex suppressed childhood trauma, parts of the brain and body actually stopped developing at age 4. And then there were continual glitches in the process of neurodevelopment because of the residual impact of suppressed childhood trauma and complex trauma. As my inner evolutionary hero or past version of self dove deeper into her self-healing journey, she got closer and closer to the details of all of that complex trauma from early life. And in this process, those aspects of self flowing through those parts of the body-mind surfaced as their own individuated expression of consciousness. So 4, 5, and 6 years ago, my inner evolutionary hero was living with chronic dissociative age regression, and the inner child was manifested as an individuated state of consciousness. And in the presence of this inner child, the brain and the body actually reverted to early stages of neurodevelopment, actually regressed back to operating from the neurodevelopmental activity of age 2. Of age 4, age 5, age 6, age 7, age 8. And so for many years, the inner child was an individuated state of consciousness, an alternate state of personhood, its own individuated expression of being a person that created some very unique experiences. Through that journey, my inner evolutionary hero successfully transmuted all of the foundational trauma from early life and all the decades of complex trauma that had developed independently of external guidance and assistance, all through the modalities that I now share through my work. As my inner evolutionary hero, past version of self, successfully transformed all these decades of complex trauma through her own inner work, those dissociative age regressive states of consciousness then gradually progressed through their halted stages of neurodevelopment. And then once my inner evolutionary hero, past version of self, came to the edge of that journey, where the age regressive states of consciousness had been unified and the brain and the body progressed through the halted neurodevelopment and neurobiologically grew up, if you will, then my inner evolutionary hero reached a whole new challenge where she could not remember her entire life, including the past several years of self-healing and original childhood experiences and everything in between. A really intensive, rare form of retrograde amnesia. And this began a whole new level of inner child healing by reconnecting with the foundation of self-essence. And instead of trying to remember all of life, the intention was to recreate it, to rebirth it. I'm not here to remember my life, I'm here to rewrite it, was the mantra. And so this began a whole new level of inner child work, play, healing, and liberation by trying to connect with the foundation of that childhood self-essence and then saying, who would they be now? Since I can't remember my life anyway, and it was all filled with really gnarly, complex trauma for the majority of it, why don't we just start fresh? And if that childhood self had always known unconditional love through the fulfillment of these specific internal attachment needs, who would they have grown up to be? And it was this beautiful process of rebirthing my own body mind from my soul self through unconditional love into an ever expanding state of wholeness and getting to meet the foundation of my own self essence independently of all the struggles and all the challenges and all the hardships and all the trauma and all the complex self healing. And to meet the raw and real essence of that inner child. Because that inner child was never the dissociative age regression. That inner child was never the right brain hemisphere imbalance or the amnesia or the trauma responses or the stress responses or all the things that were happening during that journey. My childhood self, my inner child, the foundation of my essence was never defined by the experiences that she went through or that she was associating herself with. And even now, when I am able to connect with original childhood memories and feel the union of my own self-essence, I come to a place of full-body laughter until I am crying because of the overwhelming wholeness that is penetrating my body, mind, soul from the infinite love that I am. And that is why I am so passionate to share this work and work with my one-on-one clients to create inner child healing, play, and loving liberation. So the whole purpose of working with the inner child, healing the inner child, playing with the inner child, creating liberation for and with the inner child is to meet the essence of who you truly are from a place of unconditional love and profound inner wholeness. To reunify with the foundation of your own essence of self, not the details of experience from childhood, but the essence of the you that you really are, who existed before all of the experiences taught you who you are, told you who you're supposed to be. To meet the foundation of your own authentic inner being. If you had always felt seen and loved, if you had always felt safe and secure, if you had always felt supported and connected, if you had always felt recognized and respected, if you had always been tenderly held and abundantly taken care of, who would you be now? And in this process, there's two things that happen. And this has to do with the two simultaneously occurring realities in our body, mind, and soul. The first reality is that there is the essence of self, the substance of the soul, the energy of consciousness, the you that you are within and beyond all experiences, the soul self. And in this journey of inner child work, play, healing, liberation, however you want to describe it, working with the inner child, we get to activate and anchor more of the authentic soul self within the physical human form. Because what happens is there's the essence of self, and it's free and it's flowing and it's expansive and it's abundant and it's liberated and it's evolving and it's beauty and it's love and it's expression and it's vitality. But then life teaches the body mind who it's supposed to be, and suddenly there starts to be these blocks in the flow of the energy of self. And oh, you're supposed to be like this, but that's not who I really am. But you're supposed to be that way. Okay, I'm gonna be that way. You're not seen and you're not loved. And then the energy flow of that aspect of self just kind of stops. And you don't feel safe and secure, and the energy flow of self it gets stuck. And you don't feel supported and connected, and the energy flow of self that was all free and expansive starts to get blocked and stuck. And so we want to create more space for the soul self to freely flow in the brain, in the body, and in the body mind. Allowing more of the essence of self to come in and more of that self energy to be freely flowing so you can meet more of the totality of all that you are. There is the soul, the self, consciousness. And then there is another reality simultaneously occurring within body, mind, soul, within your inner being. And that is the energy of the brain and the body and the patterns of navigation, regulation, and self-association. The patterns of navigation, regulation, and self-association. And so, beginning during early life and then continuing up until now, the body-mind learned ways of navigating its own existence. And this includes your sense of self, which we talked about in the previous video. Your sense of personal identity and the three contributors to that. Your body, mind learned ways of navigating, and this includes the patterns of thoughts and the patterns of feelings and emotions and sensations and inner dialogue and self-talk and habits and choices and what you approach and what you avoid and how you move and how you think and how you choose and how you feel and how you respond and how you navigate life from the inside out. And brain-body regulation, the regulation of the brain hemispheres and the brain lobes and the triune brain and the brain waves and the nervous systems and the cranial nerves and digestion and respiration and circadian rhythms and hormones and neurotransmitters. And there's all these patterns and protocols of regulation. And then with that, there's ways of associating with your own existence. And this is held within and affected by and affecting the navigation and regulation as well. How you associate with your own physical form, how you orient in time and space, how you recognize and resonate with the you that you see when you look in a mirror. Navigation, regulation, and then with that, there's also self-association. And so while we want to activate and anchor more of the authentic soul self, so the energy of consciousness, the substance of the soul, the essence of self has more space to flow, and there's more of the self within that flow, we also want to rebirth those patterns and protocols of navigation, regulation, and self-association. How would your thoughts be projected in your mind if you had always known unconditional love? How would the patterns of feeling and emotion and sensation be projected within your mind and your body if every aspect of you had always known unconditional love? That is the purpose of inner child healing. That is what we are really after when we are working with the inner child, playing with the inner child, healing the inner child, creating loving liberation with and for and through the inner child. We're shape-shifting how the body-mind navigates, regulates, and associates with its own existence. How would the body-mind navigate life if it had always known unconditional love through the fulfillment of its internal attachment needs? How would the brain and the body naturally now self-regulate if it had always known unconditional love through the fulfillment of its specific attachment needs? How would you associate with yourself through that navigation, regulation, and all the aspects of your own self-essence if every aspect of you and every part of your body mind had always known unconditional love and the fulfillment of those specific attachment needs? Who would you be now? If your childhood self and every aspect between then and now had known the fulfillment of your attachment needs through unconditional love. Through unconditional love. Unconditional love. Where you are seen and loved unconditionally. Where you are supported and connected unconditionally. Where you are recognized and respected unconditionally. Where you are safe and secure unconditionally. There is only love. There is no opposite to this love. Unconditional love has no opposite. There's no opposite. It's not, oh, if you behave this way, then I'm maybe going to love you a little less, right? Okay. If you say this or think this or have this preference or, oh, you're singing too loudly, oh, you're speaking too loudly, you're annoying me, Kate. There's none of that, right? Often we go through life and we experience not love and some conditional love and some inconsistent love and some temporary love. We don't often know the expression of our own existence through unconditional love. And so that's why we're diving into this inner work, so that we can know the essence of who we really are, because we are that love. We are love. You are love. We are love's sacred presence. We are love's sacred power. We are love's sacred peace. We are love's sacred bliss. We are love's sacred joy. We are love's sacred abundance. We are love's sacred embodiment. We are love's sacred freedom. We are infinite love. We are abundant love. We are unconditional love. And now we get to rebirth our inner realities from and through and into that love. The whole purpose of working with the inner child along this journey of self-healing and soul awakening is to meet the foundation of your authentic self-essence and who you would be now, how you would experience your own existence within body, mind, and soul if every aspect of you had always known the fulfillment of their inner needs through and from and as unconditional love. To reunify all aspects of self across all time, dimension, space, and reality, and experience greater wholeness than ever before, while shape-shifting the foundational structures of navigation and regulation in the body-mind, so that all the miracles that affect your patterns of thought and feeling and emotion and choices and the way you experience life from the inside out, the harmony of inner energies, your masculine and your feminine, the expression of mind-body connection, the way that you are able to be fully liberated from painful past experiences by transmuting how those energies now affect you, all of these miracles can be reborn as love, into love, through love. Who would your childhood self be in the fullest expression of your now if they had always known unconditional love and the fulfillment of their need to be seen and loved and treasured, appreciated, celebrated, wanted, valued with belonging? Your childhood self had always been recognized and respected and embraced, allowed to be who they really are, with opportunity and space to be the who that they really were, before life told them to be someone or something else or less than their fullest self. And how can this create somatic shifts and tangible transformation from the inside out? Who would you be now if there was love and wholeness at the center of your own sense of self? So I invite you to explore this idea, and through your inner child work or play or healing or liberation, to really set some clear intentions for why it matters and what you're really showing up for. You're showing up to meet the lovingly liberated essence of your authentic soul self. If your childhood self and every aspect between then and now had known the fulfillment of these specific attachment needs through unconditional love and experiencing profound inner wholeness beyond anything you ever could have imagined possible, where you get to enjoy how your soul self flows through your mind and flows through your body. You get to enjoy the way you think, the way you feel, the way you make choices, the way you enjoy life. You get to enjoy the magic of everyday moments. You get to enjoy your own inner peace and power and joy and love and awareness and bliss and embodiment and wholeness and fulfillment and freedom and abundance and presence from the inside out, from within your own miraculous body, mind, and soul. And this is exactly the work that I guide my one-on-one clients through. Through my 3 or 6 month journey, Reborn as Infinite Love, we get to dive deep into rebirthing inner realities to meet the essence of self from that place of love, to fulfill those attachment needs for all aspects of self in a way that reunifies the essence of soul and creates more space for all of the self to freely flow in the brain and the body, mind. And in the process, get to shift and transform all the miracles so that they are grounded in a place of love and wholeness from within. For those interested in this work but not yet ready for a 3 or 6 month one-on-one journey, I also offer single sacred soul sessions and self-guided journeys. You can find all the information in the video description below, and there's also some free gifts to kickstart your journey, and I would love to share that with you as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Give this video a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone you know, and in your comment below, share your intention for inner child healing, for inner child liberation, for the work and the play that you invest in while connecting with your inner child or childhood self or foundation of self-essence. I would love to celebrate your intention. And it's always really powerful when you can boldly and courageously declare your intention where you can be witnessed in it. So comment below, share your intentions for inner child liberation, share this video, like, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned for all of the magic, and check out all of the offerings available through Kristin's Quantum Catalyzers in the video description. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Have a beautiful and blessed day. From my heart to yours with infinite love. My divine inner child sees and honors your divine inner child. Namaste, infinite blessings.
These videos reference Kristin Windsor's original Trifecta Treasure Trove modalities, intellectual property of Kristin Windsor, all rights reserved.
Who would your childhood self be in the fullest expression of your now if they had always known unconditional love?